but there is the outside element of, I mean, the squeakiest wheel gets the grease. So,
and we all know that James Harden is in fact squeaky.
Yeah. He's
oh man, can I just say I hated the end of his speech? He ended it with swag. Like, come on.
Wept.
The best thing that he has ever done is that commercial where he sings, "I wear my shirt open so you see my chest, girl." That's the best thing he's ever done. 100%. And I'm sure Christine's up there laughing right now.
Because that's being nice.
Yeah.
To him.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 9 years since he's been drafted, though.
That is
9
kind
years.
of crazy.
Isn't it? Like, that beard, it's 9 years old, the NBA beard.
Well, we know he's never winning DPOY.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's no chance.
He's going to win it next year, though.
No.
He'll have one block, and he's going to win it.
If he has one block, he'll win Most Improved Player after winning the MVP. For being better on defense.
That's a good point, Tony. Oh, God.
You went from MVP to Most Improved Player because you actually played D.
Good effort.
Good effort. Yep. One block. And it was on Lonzo.
Yeah. One of the shortest player in the league.
It's like that episode of Family Guy where Stewie just kicks the soccer ball a little bit and gets Player of the Year.
Yeah.
High school.
Yep.
Oh, man. Anyways, speaking of most improved, I don't have a problem with this pick. I think he is one of the most improved. The only problem that I have is I don't think that he was bad to begin with. So how Victor Oladipo is most improved, I'm a little confused by it, but I like Victor. Good for him.
Well, I think it's because he went from, rookie and, he wasn't like first pick overall or anything. I think he went decently late in the draft to, what looks like he'll be a perennial all-star. So I think that's a good improvement.
Yeah, I agree with that pick 100%. No problems.
I mean, I guess biggest surprise in that case, I just don't think that he was bad enough to where his play this year warrants most improved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, after last year, people were considering, was he worth that high of a pick, even though it wasn't overwhelmingly high? Will he ever live up to his potential? People were questioning all of that, and then he went from, is he going to be considered a bust later on or is he just going to be a position player, to, nope, he's actually an all-star. That's a pretty big jump.
I guess that's a good point. We got another message coming in from our friends at Not a Clue. Not a Clue podcast said Harden had 50 blocks this season. Yes, we know. We're making jokes.
But it's going to take 51.
Yeah, 51. And they said 128 steals as well. Yeah, a lot of those are probably gimme steals that really were poked out by Chris Paul, and he just gathered the ball. But no, he doesn't play defense. You put anyone in front of him, like, I could probably beat him in a game of one-on-one.
I don't think so.
I know. It's just, he doesn't play defense, and that anything that people are saying is wrong with the NBA these days, it's him. It's him. All he wants to do is score. At least Steph Curry tries to play defense. He's not good at it, but he tries. But, anyways, getting off of James Harden, most improved Victor Oladipo. We got 2 more awards to talk about. This one, I think, was probably the best pick. Sixth man, Lou Williams.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else could it have been?
Yeah, I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, I don't think people would have been more irate if that didn't happen than some of the other ones.
I can't even think who would be a better sixth man of the year.
No, I couldn't I couldn't give you a name right off the bat that would be better than Lou.
No, I feel like this award should be called the Lou Williams Award.
It pretty much was most of the year, so deserving.
Yeah. And then we have the Lifetime Achievement Award, which went to Oscar Robertson. So.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's very solid pick for a lifetime achievement.
Anybody saying that that's not deserving, then I don't know. Read a history book about the NBA. I mean, Oscar Robertson deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award. He was certainly very good.
Of course. He absolutely was.
And, again, the highlight of the entire evening was that Charles Barkley got flipped the bird. Let us not forget.
By an absolute legend.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I think he was just showing him, I have more rings on my middle finger than you have on any of your hands. It had to be what it is, right?
I mean, it would make sense.
That's what he was doing, just trying to show off his rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Anyways, those were the NBA honors, or dishonors, if you look at it the way I do. So, sticking with the NBA draft was on Thursday. Couple things to note. One, local product from Shen, Kevin Herter, drafted 22nd overall. He has the unfortunate experience of playing basketball for the Atlanta Hawks. Mm-hmm. I guess there is one good thing coming out of this, though. He doesn't have to play for Mike Budenholzer. So, Kevin Herter played at Maryland, drafted to the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. All right. Number 1 overall pick was DeAndre Ayton from Arizona.
I don't think we should be too surprised by that.
No, we shouldn't. He's been in the forefront of a lot of people's minds for a long time.
Herter was actually 19th overall.
Was he 19?
Yes, and there's a funny story about that because I read a story that the Hawks were about to trade up to 17 because they wanted Herter, and then they found out through social media I believe it was Minnesota. I'm not 100% sure. They found out through social media who Minnesota was going to take while they were in the negotiation to trade the pick. And then when they realized it wasn't Herter, they knew the next team after that wasn't taking him. So they went, oh, no, never mind, no deal.
Nice.
So there you go, social media. You screwed out your team of getting a trade that probably would have helped them.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what that could have led to. But Kevin Herter playing in Atlanta. Let me ask you this question. Will he have a better NBA career than other local product Jimmer Fredette?
I mean, it's hard not to.
You're right.
I mean, that's the best I can say. If I was a betting man, I'd bet on the fact that this kid is now just coming into the league, and he doesn't really have to get far over a bar to surpass that, so I would go with the new kid.
Okay. All right. That's a very fair assessment by our good friend Tony Casper. The new Not a Clue podcast, guys, man, they're just blowing us up tonight, aren't they? They said, there you go, haha, 51 blocks would do it. And I'm out. You guys have a good one. Keep having a good show. Thank you for listening, Not a Clue podcast. If you don't know about Not a Clue podcast yet, you should. Look for them on Twitter at Not a Clue Pod. A bunch. Yeah, there's 2 of them. A couple of great guys, Brad and CD. For those of you who don't know, I went to go visit them and did a show with them. They're great hosts. Awesome show. Phenomenal. Yeah, like AJ Styles.
Better than AJ Styles.
So Dan O'Shea.
Yeah.
As a Knicks fan, how did the Knicks do in the draft?
They did okay. I'm not super excited about Knox, but at the same time, I could be wrong. He's got a high ceiling. I just don't know that he'll live up to that ceiling. I do know that a lot of the talk about drafting him was that he can play pretty much 1 through 4. Well, maybe not 1, but he can play like 2 through 4, and he can guard 1 through 4. I was watching some highlights of him. He looks like he could absolutely, kill it if he's in the right mindset, in the right, with the right team, and maybe that is this team. He looks like he could be at minimum a great 3-and-D guy, which the Knicks, which every team always needs a few of. And then he also looks like he can create his own shot. I know a lot of people were pulling for Michael Porter Jr., but I understand the injury concerns in such a young guy. So I know why. I don't blame the Knicks for not taking him there. I thought they were going to go with one of the Bridges, Mikal or Michael. But Knox shows flashes of that he can create his own shot. He's one of the youngest players in the draft, so I think that he can really, really grow with a bunch of pros around him. Good defender, not great, but has the tools to become one. And in a lot of ways, he reminds me of an unpolished Jason Tatum, which is obviously a very very high calling, but I could see him becoming that if he lives up to all of his potential.
So I just realized the Knicks' MO is to draft the youngest player available, right? YPA. Right? They drafted Kristaps Porzingis really young. They drafted what's his name? The French Prince of Madison Square, Frank Ntilikina, who was 19, and they drafted Knox, who is also very young. I made a joke, but kind of true. It seems like the Knicks felt bad that they missed out on Kentucky's Fox last year, so they thought they'd make up for it by going with Kentucky's Knox this year. So I don't know what I expect from Knox. I don't expect much. I know you're not disappointed about it, O'Shea, but I really was hoping for Colin Sexton. Like, I remember saying on the podcast just, what was it, a couple months ago, that there's no one in the draft class that I'm excited about. Not even Luka, not any of the Bridges. I wasn't excited about anybody. But the more I watched Colin Sexton, the more I liked him, the more I wanted him to be a Knick. So.
Yeah, Sexton I think will be good. But I think if we were going to get him, we would have traded back. And I think we could have honestly traded back and still gotten Knox a couple of picks later, but, is what it is. I think you should be excited about Luka. I think he's going to be a monster. Very jealous of the Mavs right now, but, we'll see what happens.
We shall see. Another name that caused a lot of controversy is heading to the Knicks as well. Alonzo Trier, Arizona standout, but was caught up in all the Sean Miller money and all that issue. He didn't get drafted. He's a Knick.
Oh, yeah, we did sign him.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I didn't even actually catch that. But, yeah, that's interesting. Who knows what might pan out for that. I know
he was a potential lottery pick.
Huh?
He was thought of as a lottery pick.
Yeah. I know, there's some moral things there, but I don't know his background, but let's face it, a lot of these kids are coming from like really poor backgrounds, and you know, even having a cent of money like that is life changing for them.
Yeah.
That's money they can get now. They don't have to worry about being